The universe has an important message for you. You may not have noticed it, but a silent conversation is happening, and it's all about you. Amidst what seems like stagnation or emptiness, a transformation is taking place. This message has reached you for a reason. It's an invitation to listen, not with your ears, but with your heart. Take a deep breath. Now is the time to truly hear what the universe is trying to show you. Sometimes, silence reveals more than any words ever could. It's as if life has lowered the volume of the world around you so you can finally hear yourself. And perhaps that's exactly what's happening now. You look around and notice how much you've moved away from things or people that once felt essential. In some cases, this was a conscious choice. In others, it unfolded gradually, almost without you noticing. Regardless of how you arrived here, one thing is certain: you are exactly where you're meant to be. This isolation, which might feel like a punishment, is actually a space for healing. The universe doesn't withdraw without purpose. When something dissolves or someone departs, there's a greater intention behind it. In this instance, the intention is purification. Indeed, you are undergoing an intense emotional, spiritual, and energetic process. This can lead to confusing sensations, fluctuating emotions, and fatigue, even without significant exertion. What's coming to light now isn't new. These are old feelings, seemingly closed wounds, and recurring memories. But all of this serves a purpose: to transform you into a version more aligned with who you truly are. This new version of you no longer needs to constantly explain itself. It understands that not everyone is ready to understand, and that's perfectly fine. It realizes that the value of its energy isn't measured by how many receive it, but by how you direct it. Perhaps you've spent too much time trying to fit in. Something has now shifted. You've stopped apologizing for who you are. This point on your path demands a new kind of honesty. Honesty with yourself about what remains and what no longer serves you. It's like you're meeting yourself again for the first time in a long while. Life called for a break, not to punish, but to realign. You were drawing closer to people, places, and ideas that didn't reflect your true essence. The universe then applied the brakes. And now, even without fully grasping all the reasons, you're beginning to sense that something within you is being rebuilt. This is the time to look inward, to calmly ask yourself, who am I now? What has changed in me? Which parts are stronger? And which ones need care? The answer doesn't need to be immediate. The most important thing is to allow yourself to feel, to simply be, because there's a vast difference between being alone and being with yourself. The former generates anguish, the latter offers healing. Isolation isn't a void, it's a sacred space. It's a space where the universe can work without distractions, where external influences don't interfere with what's being refined within. Here, you can finally hear your own voice without noise. What's being built now isn't for others to see, it's for you to recognize yourself. So that when the time comes to open the doors of your life again, your energy will be firmer, cleaner, and more whole. And when new connections emerge, because they will, you'll know which ones are true. There will be no need to explain yourself anymore. Your presence will speak for you. There's a specific moment in life when your path demands that you stop, not out of weakness, but out of necessity. A need to reconnect with what was forgotten during the automatic rhythm of everyday life. Now, everything that seemed to be working has come to a halt. While this might cause discomfort, it's actually a sign that the universe is redrawing the contours of your journey. This pause isn't a coincidence. It has a purpose: to reintroduce you to yourself. This reunion isn't superficial. It demands sincerity, attention, and courage, the courage to acknowledge the internal changes that have occurred. These are small transformations that weren't always noticed, but today they make all the difference. You are no longer the same person you were yesterday, and you won't be the same person today, tomorrow. Perhaps you felt this in conversations that no longer flow as they used to, or in the discomfort of being in places that once felt familiar. A demanding frequency shift is underway. This is why some connections dissolve, certain projects lose their meaning, and old certainties become uncomfortable. Everything is being adjusted so your energy aligns with who you've truly become. It's not easy to realize that some relationships, environments, or even ideas that sustained you for so long no longer fit. But it's necessary, because insisting on holding on to what doesn't vibrate with your current essence invites stagnation. The universe desires movement. It wants you to walk toward what is true. You might be asking, but why does it feel like everything has stopped? Why am I here feeling like nothing is moving forward? The answer lies at the root of the process. Sometimes you have to slow down to see clearly. You were moving too fast, perhaps adapting to expectations, contexts, or dynamics that no longer reflected what lives inside you. The universe then intervened, not to punish, but to preserve, to ensure that as you move forward, you are at peace with what you carry within you. It's at this point that much is revealed. You begin to understand that you no longer need validation from those who don't truly listen, that you no longer have the energy to explain yourself to those who have never tried to understand, and that there is a powerful freedom in simply being, without the need to convince, to justify, or to diminish yourself. True connections are effortlessly sustaining. They don't lead to exhaustion or constant confusion. Instead, they bring peace, and this peace starts within you. As you align with your truth, the universe naturally draws in people, situations, and experiences that resonate with your frequency. This isn't by chance. Your energy acts as a natural filter, attracting what's similar and repelling what's not. Therefore, this period of quiet isn't inactivity, it's preparation. A pause isn't stagnation, it's like a seed. Everything is being carefully adjusted so that when you move forward again, you do so with strength, clarity, and direction, not just in a rush. Embracing this process can be tough, especially if it seems like everyone else is moving quickly. But remember, don't compare yourself. Every journey unfolds at its own pace. What seems unclear now will make sense later. What feels empty is actually being filled with something much deeper. You're being rebuilt from the inside out, and the universe is safeguarding this crucial formation. You need to be ready to receive the new before it's delivered. Throughout our lives, we learn to care for many things: the people around us, our responsibilities, and external demands. Yet, we're rarely taught to protect what's most vital: our own energy. This lesson often only comes when exhaustion becomes so overwhelming that our body and mind demand boundaries. This might be exactly where you are now. You feel more deeply and perceive more than others imagine. While empathy is a precious gift, it can also become a trap without awareness. When you're too open, you absorb everything: others' pain, their frustrations, and the imbalances of environments that aren't yours. This comes at a significant cost. The universe is calling you to set clear boundaries, not as isolating walls, but as filtering portals. It's essential to discern who can enter, who can stay, and who needs to leave. This isn't selfishness, it's self-respect. The peace you seek isn't found in the world's silence, but in your ability to maintain clear energy even amidst chaos. You might be experiencing a time when loved ones feel distant. You may be learning, with some regret, that not everyone will treat you as you treat them. This can hurt, but it also liberates. Through this process, you'll understand that the love you deserve doesn't demand excessive effort, it flows, recognizes, and respects. You possess a unique light that transforms any space you enter. This isn't about being loud or visibly prominent, it's something subtler and more profound. Your peaceful presence radiates security. To maintain this, you must guard what enters and exits your emotional field. Not everything is meant to be absorbed. Not every problem is yours to solve. Not every connection is worth preserving. Your sensitivity is a powerful tool, but like any tool, it needs wise application. This means recognizing when someone's presence drains your energy. It means accepting that there's no harm in stepping away, no guilt in saying, "This isn't for me," and that protecting your heart is as crucial as offering it. Right now, the universe has placed an extra layer of protection around you. This isn't coincidence, it's a strategy. It's as if life itself is creating a safe space for you to grow stronger without interference, because what's developing within you is too precious for unprepared hands to touch. You don't need to explain this to anyone. Those who truly connect with your essence will understand naturally. There will be no need for justification or persuasion. They will simply feel it, and that's enough. You might still be trying to grasp why some relationships didn't work out, why certain cycles ended, or why some paths closed. But gradually, you'll realize all of it was the universe communicating, "Not here. You won't grow here. It's not safe here." By accepting this, you align with something grander, something still forming but already vibrating in your direction. Therefore, protect yourself and nurture your light as you would a sacred flame. Feed what strengthens you, distance yourself from what causes confusion, and never ignore the signals from your body and soul. When you choose to honor your own limits, the universe understands you're ready to receive more, because only those who know how to care for themselves can truly share. It's fascinating how life sometimes needs to distance you from everything to bring you closer to yourself. Isolation might seem like punishment, loneliness, or absence, but often, it's simply an act of care. The universe knows when it's time for silence. And silence, though initially uncomfortable, has its own language. It reveals what noise conceals. Perhaps you felt this, surrounded by people, yet feeling alone, participating in conversations and fulfilling commitments, but a part of you seems disconnected. This feeling isn't a flaw, it's a sign. It indicates that what once sustained you no longer serves you. What once filled you now constricts you. And that's the clear sign that something is being remade. This inner rebuilding, though unseen by others, is fully underway. That's why you might feel more sensitive, tired, and introspective. You're not just going through any ordinary moment, you're experiencing a purification process. This cleansing isn't physical, it's energetic. Layers are being removed, expectations that aren't yours, inherited fears, and emotional burdens carried for too long. In this space of silence and pause, you're learning to live more authentically. You're learning not to mold yourself for acceptance or diminish who you are to fit into spaces that are too small. Perhaps for the first time, you're learning to truly listen to yourself, to recognize your own being, and to make choices based on what you feel, not what's expected. It's as if the universe is saying, now it's just you, no interference, no distractions, no noise. In this forced retreat, you rediscover simple things. What you enjoy when no one is watching, what truly matters, what hurts and what heals, what deserves to stay and what needs to go. These discoveries are invaluable. They don't emerge amidst the urgency of everyday life, but in the silent space of presence. It's there that you understand you're not alone, even in solitude, that something greater supports you, something invisible yet deeply real, guiding you even when you don't know exactly where to go. When the universe removes certain presences, it's because it's preparing others. When doors close, it's because paths are being drawn that can't yet be revealed. And when everything around you goes silent, it's so your inner voice can be heard clearly. This voice, perhaps muffled for so long, is now gaining strength. And what it says is simple, yet powerful: you are enough. You are worthy. You deserve peace. Yes, isolation hurts, but it also heals. It moves you away from what confuses you and brings you closer to what strengthens you. Even if you can't see what's being prepared now, trust. There's a loving logic behind this moment. Life doesn't interrupt processes without reason. If you've been set apart, it's because something within you needed silence to flourish. Allow yourself to live this time with presence, without rushing through it or trying to skip steps. Take the opportunity to care for yourself with more affection and patience, to listen to your intuition more carefully, and to honestly ask yourself, who am I becoming? Why is this happening? Even if it still feels like just a pause, you are becoming, you are being reborn, you are building the foundation for what comes next. The deeper this process is now, the truer everything that follows will be. There comes a point on the path where doubt begins to give way to trust. Not because everything is magically resolved, but because, even without all the answers, something inside you already knows, everything is moving towards what's good. This point marks the beginning of your return, not to the external world, but to your own light. You've navigated a profound cycle. You faced moments when everything seemed suspended, where silence spoke louder than any advice, where logic couldn't even explain what you felt. And still, you continued, perhaps in silence, perhaps crying, perhaps disbelieving, but you didn't stop. This, in itself, is an act of courage. Now, the universe is beginning to organize the next chapters of your story. This time, however, you'll be truly present, making more conscious choices, setting clearer boundaries, and having a firmer presence. The person emerging from this journey understands that they don't need to bend for acceptance, nor strive to be seen. Their energy speaks for itself and attracts exactly what's ready to receive it. The new cycle approaching isn't a reward, it's a consequence, the result of your decision to remain true to yourself, even when everything around you pulled you away. The clarity forming now doesn't come from what was said, but from what was felt. This is the most powerful knowledge. Soon, you'll notice the right people appearing, connections feeling lighter and more genuine, and disproportionate effort ceasing to exist. This happens naturally when you stop trying to fit where you don't belong and when you radically accept who you are. This isn't arrogance, it's self-love. There comes a time when you simply choose to live with more truth. You choose not to pretend, not to please at your own expense. You choose to be with someone who understands your silence, values your peace, and walks alongside you without wanting to change you. This moment is now, and it's not a happy ending. It's a conscious new beginning. Trust in the timing of your life. Trust that even what hasn't arrived yet is on its way. Trust that blessings are waiting to enter your reality at the right time, with the right people, in the right circumstances, and most importantly, trust in yourself. Because the person you've become on this journey possesses enough strength to create the life you desire. This message from the universe is for those precisely at this point, caught between what's been left behind and what hasn't yet arrived. It's for those recognizing themselves in the midst of this process, for those who, even in silence, felt something shifting. If this message resonated with you, it's because it's yours.